So hi there, welcome to Paint and Zoo. My name is Matt and I'm joined today by Chloe, who's one of our primate keepers, and we've come to see our Sulawesi Crested black macaques, which are just behind us at the moment. Okay, now if you're a visitor here at Paint, you can see these up at Monkey Heights. Now Chloe, I know we've just given them some food this morning. Everybody who learns about monkeys when they're a kid knows that monkeys eat fruit, right?
Yes.
But we don't give them fruit here.
So in the wild they would eat mostly fruit. They'd have loads of varieties, but the ones that we get in the UK, they're quite a lot sweeter than the ones that they would have in the wild. So we wouldn't give them, we don't give them to them because of diabetes, obesity, things like that.
And dental problems as well,
Yes,
right? We did
yes.
some research here at the zoo that found that when the primates were given too much fruit, it wasn't good for their teeth. Now, if we're choosing a diet for them, so you choose things like veg, and I know that we've just given them some ice cubes, which have got some carrot in it. And
So it's just the water from butternut squash that we cooked the day before. It was just the water that was left over from that, so it's got a little bit of a taste of the butternut squash in it.
So vegetable broth, carrots, and some seeds as well. So we've got one here,
seeds.
and then as a keeper, you would take this, freeze it.
Yep.
And then it just takes them a bit longer.
So obviously it's only just a few seeds in that, but it would take them 20 minutes to eat them.
Okay, so that keeps them interested, but it also
do.
helps because it means that they're feeding in different places, right?
Yeah.
It means you don't get so much bickering in between them. Right?
Yeah, so you'd have to give more than the amount of animals that are in there, otherwise the more dominant ones would probably take 2 or 3. So you'd have to give maybe double the amount of the animals in there.
Okay, so you mentioned dominance. I know that we've got one dominant male at the minute who's called Hickory, is that right?
Yes.
Okay, so if we got people come to the zoo, how can they tell Hickory and some of them apart?
Well, these guys are quite difficult to tell apart. It takes us quite a while to learn them. Hickory he's quite a lot bigger.
Right, so you're looking for a big, muscular...
we do have two big ones here. The other one's Tyrone, but he's a bit more silver. He's quite an old boy now, so you can tell them two apart. So you just find the biggest.
Right, so if you come here to the zoo, you're looking for a big muscular male. Okay, Tyrone, who's the previous dominant male, is going to be more silver grey. Okay, a bit like me. And then Hickory is the current dominant male.
Yes.
And then we've got a range of ages down to some quite young.
So we've got the 3 boys, who is Phoenix, Gordon, and Mac, and they're going into adulthood now.
Okay, right, so in the wild, in Indonesia, then when they're coming to adulthood, then they'd leave their
so they would leave
right?
the group, and they would either go into a bachelor group or they'd try and find a new group where they could be the dominant male in.
Okay, that might take some time, I guess.
Yeah.
Okay, and I know that you're a keeper, so you know your animals really well, and I know you can tell them apart, but when I'm looking at them, then it's really hard to tell them apart, but you
really
can see some
too.
little differences, and I guess the males stand out because of the sort of the way that they're built, but also the females stand out because they do have bright pink bottoms a lot of the time.
Yeah, so the males have the heart-shaped bottom.
Okay.
The females, because they go into swell when they come into season, so their bums go really big.
Okay.
And then when they obviously go back down, they sort of distort a little bit.
If visitors can see like a heart-shaped bottom, then that's the males, but if it's swollen, then it means it's a female who's ready to breed.
Yes.
Okay,
so that's very noticeable. It's very big.
Okay. Now, another thing that you can look out for if you're here at the zoo is the way that our macaques interact with each other. So they use a lot of facial expressions.
Yes.
You can see it. I mean, they're called crested macaques because they've got a crest on their head that will come up and down. Now, that's a sign that they're sort of excited or agitated, right? If they're relaxed, then that lies down.
Yeah. So if they're threatened, they sort of make themselves look a little bit bigger.
Okay. And what other things can people look for with it?
Lip smacking. So that's when they obviously.
Okay, like literally.
Yeah, that's it.
Okay.
So that's sort of a sign of. It's almost like friendliness.
Okay, so just a sort of friendly gesture.
Yeah, so that's a nice gesture.
And one thing I've noticed as well is the way that they flicker their eyebrows. So they'll do this a lot. You'll see it, and that's like them not being aggressive either, is it?
No.
So if you're looking at these monkeys here at the zoo, these Sulawesi Crested black macaques, then you might be interested here that we've been, here at Paint and Zoo, we've been supporting a project in Indonesia for a long time. It's called Selamatkan Yaki, and that means saving the macaque. So Chloe, you were saying that these monkeys in the wild would be actually hunted for their meat.
So it's a delicacy in
the
Sulawesi,
parts of where they're found.
Yeah.
Okay, and also the forest where they live it's been destroyed. It's got a really cool name. It's called the Tangkoko Reserve. It's one of the big areas where they're found. Now, when we talk about an animal being critically endangered, then we're talking about a big decline, right?
So I think there's about 2,000 left in the native area.
Okay. And I mean, that sounds like a lot, but I know that the population has declined a lot in the last few decades. Now, Celebes works with people in the places where these macaques are found, and that's basically trying to get local people to treasure the forest where they're found, and also to value the monkeys like the macaques and the other wildlife that live there. So thank you very much, Chloe, for coming and showing us these macaques here at Paignton Zoo, and we hope you get to come and see them soon. Cheers.